On today's episode of Retro Gaming's Most Dangerous Podcast.
So you have a complete Nintendo Power collection.
Well, yeah, it's like any sports game is like $10 to $15.
Favorite game of all time? You have one?
That's a hard question.
It is very
That's
hard.
a very good
that
question.
is a tough question.
There was Black Planet was the other one, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Ian was on Black Planet.
No, I was on Asian Avenue.
What up, Thrift Dweller Nation? This is Nate, and you have joined our audio-only podcast featured on our thriftdweller.blogspot.com website. Today, we are featuring a conversation that we had with a friend of the show. He'll be known as Eli. He actually started off, I guess you can say he's like a fan of the show. We met him when we were out and about at a flea market for the first time, and we kind of exchanged numbers because he was looking to complete a Nintendo Power collection. So, we kind of hooked him up with some of our friends, and recently he completed a Nintendo Power collection. He invited us over, very gracious of him, to check it out, and god dang it, was it a thing of beauty seeing a complete Nintendo Power collection. So that was really dope, so we'd like to take this opportunity to thank him, and today's podcast features that conversation that Ian, myself, and Eli had in his little man cave area at the basement of his house. Really cool, actually, to reflect on, what Nintendo Power meant to us at the time when it first came out, how it was a different era compared to today, why it kind of went out of relevancy, really, the Nintendo Power magazine, the whole concept of physical media, and we reflect on some of our favorite covers and some of our favorite features of the Nintendo Power. So here you go, you pick up right in the middle of the conversation, and I'll hit you guys back at the end of this to wrap it all up.
So you have a complete Nintendo Power collection. Are you an expert on Nintendo Power, kinda? You're smart on it?
I wouldn't say expert, but
You know more than us, that's for damn sure.
Have you read through all of them cover to cover?
Absolutely not.
No?
But I will eventually. But
Yeah.
that's the thing I love about Nintendo Power. I can basically pull anyone out
Yeah.
and just set, and just kind of leaf through it and enjoy it. I'm not really gonna throw in, I don't know, NBA 99 and you know what I mean all the time.
Yeah,
But with the Nintendo Powers, I love going through, seeing the pictures, the old, what's gonna happen to the Ultra 64, this and that.
The Ultra 64.
I'm
Just
so
double checking to make sure it's still recording. I dropped that thing so many times.
Yeah. I had one Nintendo Power. It was
Which
like
one
the
did
Super
you
Mario
have, Ian?
Brothers 3 one.
Oh yeah, the guide.
The guide.
The guide.
My
Yeah.
sister had that. Like, my older sister, she's 12 years older
Yeah.
than me, and she was like an expert at that game. And like, she's the only person I knew who like played it completely through, like no warping and stuff like that.
Nice. Your sister's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, she had that guy. I remember taking that guy to like daycare and like drawing the pictures of the characters and everything.
No,
That's the only one I had.
What
in my
was the
house.
first one that came out? What year was that?
88.
88.
Wow.
Can you imagine the world of 1988?
Yeah. Do you guys want to see it? I don't know.
We'll pull it. Oh, we'll talk about
okay,
it.
yeah.
Is it
I'll
in
pull it out for
plastic?
B-roll
None of those
after.
are in
No.
plastic, are they? No.
No, they're, like I said, they're meant to be looked through.
Yeah.
I don't
1988.
Do you have doubles, or did you trade
I
some
did.
away?
Of course, I had doubles. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all gone though. All my
Yeah.
doubles are gone. Yeah.
Because I connected you with KMD Baby because he's going for complete Nintendo Power collection too. I don't think he
Yes.
completed. Did he complete it yet?
No, I met up with him once
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
And did he have anything you needed or no?
Yes, he did. Because he needed. We actually kind of did a trade. I also have like cards. There's some more stuff in there. I also have like some Nintendo Power memorabilia, which is actually kind of cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, he needs some cards. Those Nintendo Power
Yeah,
cards.
Yeah.
He needed some cards.
So those ones that have like all the like the posters and everything.
I would
on
say
them, or-
about 80% have the posters.
that's-
Yeah.
Because that was me as a kid, man. Whenever I got one as a hand-me-down, ripped it to the poster. I ripped the whole magazine in half because I didn't want to ruin the poster. Think about it, you're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. But I was saying, like, 1988 was when the first one came out. Can you imagine, compared to today, right?
Yeah.
Magazines were like, that was all we had was the
Yeah,
information.
now we got the cell
That's all we
phones
got.
and-
Like,
Twitter
if we
and
wanted to
everything.
learn about something, we couldn't just go on Google.
Yeah, I know.
We had to wait for them to send us a magazine.
Well, it's actually kind of funny. I was playing through The Legend of Zelda, and this was a few years ago, and I actually tried to use the magazine. Issue 1 has the map in it,
Mhm.
so I actually used the map. So it was actually
That's
really
cool.
helpful. But
Yeah.
it's
Well, Zelda, that game.
I was
Because
just
I didn't have
thinking
any.
of it.
I didn't have map or anything when you play. You really do need a map.
Yeah.
Because then you're exploring. You're making your own map on the grid paper or whatever.
Nice.
Try doing Master Quest without a map. And then I was stuck for the longest time. I think I randomly pressed on the wall. You know, the false wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
For years I'm trying to find this. I think it was stage 7 or something.
Yeah.
A Master Quest. And then the only way you can get there, it looks like a brick wall.
Yeah.
And you walk through it. Unless you know, how would you know to walk through a wall? I'm pretty sure the old man said it or something. But come on, man.
That
was back then. You couldn't Google that.
No.
You couldn't find no map.
No.
And
But some of those are in Nintendo Power. They're little secrets, obviously.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which is, again, cool. Yeah.
Because we were pretty young when I never got the opportunity to get them. I had hand-me-downs. For you,
Neither. Yeah, I wish I could say that I was a subscriber, but no, there's no way. I only picked up a couple here and there when I was a.
I remember my uncle said one day because he was a subscriber, but he's older than me by 5 years. And then one day he had a free game come in the mail because he was a Nintendo Power subscriber. All the Dragon Warriors that were
Dragon Warriors.
You got that for free apparently.
Well, yeah, it was
free game.
You subscribe and they I think
that's why it's pretty much worthless.
Pretty much. Everyone got it for free.
Warriors,
Well, they made way too many for North America, I think, and then they just we got to get rid of them. Okay, give them a free game.
First one that came out in 1988. That one had the Mario claymation cover.
Yeah, the exact same as the final one. You had the claymation style.
You have the final one too, obviously, because you have a complete set.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you Nintendo Power? Were you still collecting it before it died, or did you go for the complete set after they canceled it? You know what I mean? Did you start collecting it?
Did I start?
Were they still making new issues, or did you start collecting after the final issue?
Well, I started collecting before it was discontinued.
Oh, okay.
I guess I never really thought of completing it. I loved picking them up.
Because that's when I heard a lot of people wanted to complete it, right? It was when they found there was a final issue. Then all of a sudden everyone's like, I want a complete collection. Because it's final now. Right?
Yeah, I remember I remember picking up a magazine in Superstore and just opening up randomly, and it says, sorry, we're going to be, and this is the second last issue.
Wow,
I was
that's how you found out?
Yeah, I was kind of bummed out. I was like, well,
It's the worst girlfriend breakup ever. Hey, I'm leaving you.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I remember as a kid that I had that breakup once. That time I was working at McDonald's on Christmas. Hey, this is my girlfriend before my wife. She kind of dumped me before, at Christmas time. For I remember I was mopping. This has nothing to do with Nintendo Power. I'm mopping the McDonald's floor, and then last Christmas, Wham came on, and I remember I was like, crying, mopping the floor to last Christmas. Oh, I had to stop crying because my manager's like, Scott's coming after you. I'm like, this is our mutual friend. He would have ripped me apart. Something crying over a girl to last Christmas. Thank God no one shared that.
And that was the same feeling of Nintendo.
Pretty much, because it was. I got broken up on a private message on a social media site at the time. That was how
it IRC?
No, it was Asian Avenue.
Asian Avenue? You got broken up on Asian Avenue. That's funny.
That was my friend made his comment too. He's like, I hate Asian Avenue. I'm like, what? It's just a blah blah blah. Imagine if I made Caucasian Boulevard. That would be racist. But Asian Avenue, no. This is our manager Derek. Okay. But Asian Avenue is okay. Why can't I make white people's place, huh? I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. Black House,
Yeah. There was Black Planet was the other one, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Ian was on Black Planet.
No, I was on Asian Avenue. Actually,
White chocolate.
Because all my friends are Filipino.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ian kind of grew up in our hood.
Yeah.
Oh, Asian Avenue.
Where do you guys? I have no idea.
We're central.
Roughly.
You know where Thirsties is? That's our area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Nintendo Power, 1988. What's your favorite issue? I should ask you that. Of Nintendo Power.
That's.
You have to pick one. On the
island. Let's say, is there one that you use the most, or you're really excited to get,
or you remember the most?
Something like that.
Like Ian's single issue that he took to daycare and ruined.
Yeah. Remember the most? Man, that's a really tough question.
Really?
There's so many of them.
Yeah,
it is, because honestly, I just, it's not just one for me, because I used them all, and I went through them all. The last one, I guess, was kind of the most recent memorable one, because it obviously was the last one, right? It's just that I read it read it cover to cover. It kind of went over the history. It has the poster of every single
that was a good,
Yeah.
So that
I didn't tell you. Okay, I'm a bastard. The final issue, I found it at a 7-Eleven. There's 3 of them. I literally bought it and I resold it like 2 weeks later. $25 per issue. I'm not even joking. I sold all, and I kept one for myself until we had our convention, and I sold that one for $30.
I remember you getting rid of it.
But I went to the flea market. I bought all 3 issues. Kickboxing, I was buying Powerade, right? For kickboxing. Yeah. Hey, look, there's still 3 issues here at this South Osborne Max. I bought all 3, and I just literally sold it, and I felt like such a shill. It's like, I've become what I've hated the most, the reseller, scalper person.
That, you know what? Actually, that's over the years, like that's one thing that I don't enjoy about doubles, and you want to get rid of them. Like I'd rather honestly right now either just because I got like a pretty big tub and I want to get rid of more games, but one, they're either too expensive. People don't want to. Like, how do I get rid of Battletoads Double Dragon for $10? You know, like that's
you gotta go fair market.
You know, it's so that's yourself. And I don't want to. I want to be fair to people. It's so tough right now because I'm not gonna sell it to someone for a good deal and then they're selling it for double.
No, I know. That dilemma.
That's the thing. You don't know who you're selling to, right?
Because
there's guys who will use the lines like, "Oh, I'm looking for this. I had it when I was a kid. I love it so much." And
bullshit.
And then
you have a store,
like, but I don't want to spend too much on it. And,
then you didn't really want it that bad.
They sell it for like you say, double. Like, you know.
Look for us, Ian. What do we trade to each other, right? Honestly, if all my high ticket items I gave to Ian, and whatever the market value was.
We usually do.
I would try to do half that.
Yeah.
Just to be fair, because obviously, right? If Ian found something, I would feel like I was robbing him if I didn't at least give him partial market value. Like 50% or up, right? You know what I mean? I always try to be fair with each other.
I find I prefer doing trades because then there's no cash involved, and you kind of feel weird taking cash for, like you say, high value games.
Exactly. It's.
Like we always have tubs of trades. Like I used to, anyways. I haven't done it recently because I haven't been hunting. But we used to have boxes of traders, and Ian would look through it. Matt would look through it when he came into town and stuff. But I understand what you mean. Like in the market, I would always sell for less than like the market value. That was my rule. But my stuff would always sell so fast.
Yeah.
I know.
Your prices were like way less.
Like, and I felt like Ian was trying to tell me to stop that.
Because and the thing about that too is, like you said, like the resellers, they jump on it the quickest, and they're just gouging the heck out of it.
And it feels bad because those are the people. There are people who really do want it. Like I gave Ian Cowboy Kid because I know he grew up with it and he wanted it. And there are people that are like that, and now it's going to cost that guy who will probably never sell it. It'll cost him double what he could have got it for, kind of thing. I understand what you mean.
It's very frustrating,
especially our local market. It's so saturated.
Well, and that's it was kind of funny over the 3 years of. I was in Southern Ontario, just an hour east of Toronto, and I also went into Toronto too to check out the stores.
That's kind of a good area to.
It was funny being there, checking games out, coming straight here the next day, and comparing right, like going to the store, seeing the prices there, and then it was here was actually more expensive. Like let's say a $20 game there. Be like $30,
and we're not even in a market.
You go even more west, like Alberta. Their market is like almost double what we are here.
Really?
But then they have oils.
They got the oil money.
Because I have my cousin-in-law, I guess, Colleen's cousin. He has too much money. He doesn't know what to do with it. I'm gonna start collecting my childhood games, which is N64. But this guy's making as much as I do, and he didn't go to university. He just literally worked because you could. Yeah.
You're a nurse, right? You're a nurse.
Yeah. You could lose your life working on an oil rig, though. You know what I mean? But he has so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it in Alberta, so he just goes buys video games, and he doesn't care if he pays $125 for Nintendo.
He just
I went to the flea market there a few years ago when I was for my sister's wedding, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, there's this one lady in this one flea market spot where like everyone has like a little bit of games and whatnot, but she had like all the games. She was the game person to go to. She had like $90 on Mario Kart 64. You know, she like her minimum price on carts was like $30.
And that's the norm there.
Like you look at Super Mario Brothers, any Nintendo cart was $30 minimum.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, where was this?
In Calgary.
This is a podcast.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast.
We're doing a
right
podcast.
now. That's pretty much what this is. But yeah, it's crazy. Like you go further west, and that's even more ridiculous than it is here. I don't know why.
Well, the rich.
Is it just because of the
money?
money?
Rich, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I heard BC's actually a lot cheaper than.
But like you were saying, when you were in Southern Ontario, that's pretty much like CJR's
CJR.
territory. I don't know if you ever watched CJR.
Yeah, no,
He
yeah.
goes around all
Cleans
that
it
area,
out.
and he just cleans house and at all those garage
If you ever
sales.
see him at a garage sale, please give him a chokehold for us.
Yeah,
And then you steal his games.
Yeah, his collection is something
That's
else. Like,
massive.
the entire
Hijack
basement.
him.
Yeah,
He
he
did
Take his
a-
list for the day.
He did like
Buy
a
on
recent
CJR.
video talking about the 5,000 games and like 100 plus consoles or whatever it was. How all of that was
Free.
because
Oh,
of
yeah.
him reselling everything
Yeah.
the money made off of it.
Hustle.
Yeah.
So
See
that-
it's
yeah.
I could never have like that is as big as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Like those shelves, and they're only I wish I could have less shelves, but the Nintendo Powers. take
Oh, yeah.
tons of space.
And
but
that's heavy too.
It's
those
a
Nintendo
good
powers,
size
right?
though.
I tried to sell
that's
90.
That's not. Well,
it's a
that's not
wall.
too much.
That's,
It's a good.
yeah.
That's a,
I got the
yeah.
poster looks really
That's a
good in the
good-
center.
No,
That's
it's
a good
fine.
size. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll show clips of that. I'll take B-roll after of everything we're talking
Yeah.
about. But no, I remember I tried to sell 90 Nintendo powers, and this kid was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bust your house." I'm like, "Bro, this is heavy. You can take two
Good luck.
buildings."
Yeah.
And he ended up not showing up. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I carry 90 Nintendo powers because how many issues are there for the Nintendo Power?
285.
That's heavy. That's a lot of paper, man.
Yeah.
So it went from 1988 to 2000 and when did it die?
12 December.
That's a long. Well, I guess it became irrelevant after, right? Because you can get all that.
Yeah,
stuff
but you know what?
online.
Nintendo, it's not Nintendo Power, but there's Nintendo magazines still being issued. England still has it, and I was actually in Lajes, which is owned by Portugal, an island just in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
There I am walking through. They have a Nintendo magazine,
Like official Nintendo.
official Nintendo magazine, and I'm
Wow.
like, well, this is
Wow.
ridiculous. So Portugal has one, England
Yeah.
has one. Like, I'm sure other countries.
I guess here in North America, because of the population,
Well,
uh,
they're not gonna do something if it's
you're not going to cater to
profitable,
like
right?
a huge market. Whereas like if you go to Europe, the small countries and all that stuff, it's less.
They still
people
like their
to cater
paper
to. They
because my
still-
sister's
yeah.
in the fashion industry, right? And they still pay like
They
$50, $100 for magazines there.
Yeah, and
know
they
what I mean?
they still
Jesus.
deal in cash for the most part.
Do they?
In Europe, they prefer cash over.
I prefer cash over
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Xbox has I think PlayStation has a magazine too.
Yeah.
I know Xbox One has magazines.
I like online magazines. I'm not gonna lie.
My
They're
my
not
wife's cousin was collecting the OXM, like from
Mhm.
when that started, the official Xbox magazine.
Yeah.
I think he stopped though, but he had a bunch of them with all the demo discs and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna ask. Sorry, I was gonna ask everyone this question before I forget. Ian, what was your one issue that you loved of Nintendo Power?
I tell you, I only had one.
Which one was it?
Did I say this already? It was,
I don't know which one it
It was
was.
the Super Mario Brothers 3 one. It was a guide. It was.
It was a
game
guide. It wasn't actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to remember the cover. It's not the one with the Mario tail. I don't think. Was there a Super Mario 3 cover? Yeah, right.
yeah. It's the
Yeah.
one he's talking about. Yeah.
Oh, is that
And
the issue
it's
just
a,
the
it's a
guide?
full-on game guide of the whole
Yeah.
thing. With
And
like,
that was the issue
how to,
for that one?
How to
Yes.
get the
Oh, I didn't know
mushroom
that.
pets
Okay.
and all that, and like
I gotta look. We gotta look at that one.
Yeah.
I'll pull that one.
I know it very well.
I wish I had that. Because the
Yeah.
only one I had growing up, I remember I cherished it was that silver. I think it was Mega Man one.
Yeah.
It was like 50. Was it issue 50 or something?
No, it was around there. It was like 56. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it was-
issue 50.
Yeah, I remember. That's the only one I remember as a kid. Like, this is gonna be valuable. I can't find it though. I saved it. I hid it somewhere in my parents' house.
And you can't.
I can't
They
find
probably sent
I
it
have a
to the
feeling my mom threw
Philippines.
it away or something.
Or
Or
that.
she sent it to the Philippines.
Yeah.
All my Nintendo games from here were sent to the Philippines, and then after I found out they couldn't even play it over there.
Lester was talking about how same thing. His family sent their original Nintendo and like games to the Philippines. So like Kickmaster was sent there, and I remember. I think he said last time his parents went back or whatever. He tried to see if they still had it. They didn't. I don't think they had it.
I don't think they can
And
even play it
Kickmaster's
there.
like $100.
They gotta
now.
have that PAL TV thing going on there. Or
I don't know.
We have NTSC here, right? Is the refresh rate of the
I have
television?
no idea.
That's why we can't play European games here.
I thought it was just the console. I
Oh,
have no
maybe
idea.
it's not.
I have no
No.
clue.
Oh, maybe it is a call. I'm not sure how that works, but I remember my uncle said we couldn't even play it when
Wow.
your mom sent it. I'm like, why? PAL. It's like, what? PAL. To them,
I
that
didn't know
means
there-
something.
oh,
To me,
yeah.
that means nothing. Comment below if you guys know what the hell about this NTSC PAL thing. That's why games from Europe run slower, right?
Because aren't we the same as like Japan though?
Are we? I don't know.
I think like
Maybe they just couldn't play it
plays,
because
like North America and Japan
that's
as
it.
well. I
I
think.
don't know.
I don't know.
That was just what my uncle
can't
said.
remember.
That's just a story.
Yeah.
Because I know European games run slower, right? Because their TVs have a slow refresh rate. So if you ever play like a European version of the game, it feels like slow mo.
That's.
Because I think we run at 60 and they run at 50
I have
hertz per
I have
second.
a question about if is there an issue because I've been playing Crystalis. That's a game I had as a kid. And
Is there an issue with Crystal?
do you know if there's an issue with like a guide or maps to that? I don't know if
You know that
ever
game,
heard of that game.
Crystalis?
I've never played it. No.
It's a Zelda-esque game.
Crystalis,
Whatever. But
Very underrated.
because I'm
RPG.
playing that right now,
Yeah.
and it's been 20 years since I played it. And
Well, I mean, obviously, just Google it.
I know I
have
can now.
The issue.
That's the thing.
if
I know
it's-
I can now, and I did look up like what certain items do because I had the manual when I was a kid, manual with the cart, and in the manual it tells you what every item is, like what it does. But if you're playing in the game, it doesn't. None of these items tell you what they do.
And
Like,
you know what's really
like
cool, though?
medical herb heals you, antidote.
It makes
poison.
sense as you go, right?
But some of these other things like fruit of power, fruit of lime, like fruit of power, I thought does it make you stronger? But no, it actually.
Imagine
it
here's
gives
a
you
challenge
magic.
to a kid. Eh? Tell him, okay,
I beat that game when I was.
without the internet. Because
Yeah.
like say he's younger, so he's never played it. Beat this game without the internet, only with Nintendo Power. Then you'll know the struggle. That'd be funny. Beat Zelda. No internet.
Well,
beat
Find
Zelda.
the issue.
That's
Beat
weird.
Zelda and wait a couple years for the Nintendo Power to come out.
Oh, is that how it went for
Yeah.
you, Ian?
But yeah, I beat Crystalis when I was a kid. But like replaying it now, going through some of these maps, I'm like, and like trying to figure out like how did I figure this out as a kid? You know.
I do know. Yeah, it's a.
But so you don't know if there's a guide in any of those Nintendo Powers for that.
Not
game.
off the top of my
offhand,
head. Yeah,
okay.
it's
Let's
I
talk
thought
about some noteworthy
take a shot.
covers.
noteworthy covers.
Because I think to me the biggest thing about the Nintendo Power were like the covers, right? Because that's
Of course, yeah. First thing you see.
What's the best cover you think that Nintendo Power ever made, in your opinion?
I really like issue 50. That's actually a really cool cover. It's
Which one's 50?
It's got the owl on it.
Oh, for what game?
Zelda.
Oh, it's for Zelda.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
That'd
pull
be-
it out.
It's
We'll
that's
Would that be from Ocarina of?
no, that's
Dolls?
excuse me, Link's Awakening, I believe. I'm actually quite certain. Yeah.
That's one Zelda game from the past I haven't played yet. I don't think.
It's got a pretty good
Is it good?
following. It's supposed to be a really decent.
Oh, it is.
I didn't play
It's one of those
myself.
games that I have to play
Yeah.
before I die.
I was actually
Okay, we gotta
reading
look at
about
that
like a
one.
glitch in that game that would create this like random dungeon where all like it would be like mix of different monsters you've beaten in the
Oh,
game.
jeez,
and like,
that's awesome.
it
I love
is a
glitches
glitch
like
though,
that.
and every time you go in it was like different. But yeah,
You ever see those glitches where like Ocarina of Time, they just like he bomb. It's called bomb backflip or whatever. So you bomb and backflip at the same time. So you're in the fairy area, and for some reason you bomb backflip, you end up. There's a part of Zelda Ocarina of Time where there's like a big boulder you can't get through until you have the giant bomb,
Mhm.
but you can backflip over this boulder and stuff.
So
So,
that's
you
like a
access parts
speedrunning
of the
technique?
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
You access. Well, you can't even defeat it because you have to have certain items
Okay.
to defeat that spot. But it's just funny that you can do that. It glitches. So number 50 is good. The Castlevania cover.
Second issue.
That one was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Castlevania 2 with the holding.
That is
yeah.
probably my favorite cover.
Yeah, that's a cool one. I like that.
Beheading. It's a beheading
Yeah.
on a cover.
Yeah.
Today, that's not even passable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm sure
And was that a real actor in that picture? I think that was.
yeah. Well,
I
it
think that was
kind
an
of looked
actor.
like it, but
We could take a look.
We'll take a look.
yeah, exactly. You guys, yeah, more than.
Are they
more
plastic
welcome.
or no? They're just they're open to air. They're magazines.
Yeah, they're open to air.
There's not one you didn't cover one of them.
There's a few that have the plastic still.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
but
that
you
just
didn't do it yourself.
keep them in there. Yeah, actually, issue 100, which I had 3 of at one point, is still sealed. I have that sealed. So one day, it's actually what I love is the little booklets with the you can buy pencil cases or this and that. And that one has it's the Nintendo Power 100, so it has the 100 controller, 100 Game Boy, all that stuff you could buy. And wish I could buy now, but
I just don't know if there's a limit. You would love
You look back.
because that's the
Yeah,
thing about
yeah.
Nintendo Power. It's a capsule of history, right? It captures the
And
time
that's-
before.
That's why I love it.
Yeah, what
exactly,
is that one of the reasons that you love it so much?
Yeah, because that exactly what you just said. That's a big reason.
It's reminiscent of a time before today, and
Yeah.
it captures it in a way that like the internet can't capture it. You know, because this is it's a connection point, literally, to the past, right? You're touching history.
Yeah.
This has been in 1988 when you're touching issue 1 or 1989, and it captures certain like what was big back then, wrestling. I love that wrestling cover. I think it's Hulk Hogan giving a leg drop.
He's holding like a Super Nintendo controller in his hand. It's like superimposed. He's doing a drop or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty good. See, it just shows what what was prevalent at the time, right?
I have a question. You have multiple sealed copies, I'm guessing, or is it
Just one right now? And like I said, I've been meaning to open it up to check the little booklets that I've never been able to look through, but I have read issue 100 fully. Actually, that's a good.
And you said you had like three copies at one time. Do you have a copy that's not sealed? Like, did you, or you just kept the one?
No, like I said, I'm gonna open it.
You're gonna open.
We can
one.
open it today. If
Oh
you
no!
want.
Ian's fault. Ian's fault.
I don't want to like. I don't want to make you open it.
No, I'm
it's
not.
Just that,
I just really have no reason to open it.
With like games, if I think I only have like
one sealed game.
Well, I don't have just one. Like I have some newer games that are sealed as well, but like I have a sealed Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I
open it.
I don't think I'll ever open it. But I like to have a double of like sealed or box games. I like to have doubles.
I want to see what's in it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What's in it? It's Madden's in there, I think.
Oh yeah.
I only have one sealed game, Metroid Game Boy Advance. It's the only
nice
sealed game I have.
And like, do you have a copy of it?
Well, I have Metroid for the original Nintendo.
Oh, I guess that's the retro version of the Game Boy Advance.
The Game Boy Advance Classics.
Yeah, okay.
So I have.
So you have a copy that you can.
Yeah, but I mean, you can play it many different ways. If you beat Metroid Prime and you save it, there's a save you can play through the game.
Oh, they have that too.
Oh yeah, there's multiple. I mean, I guess I have like 3 or 4 different ways to play it on that shelf right there.
I don't know. I was just wondering because I'm probably not the only person that's like that. Like you have to have like a double so that you can like
one to play or one to rock, one to stock.
I think the only doubles I have are the ones I have a complete GoldenEye and Super Smash Brothers in there, but I also have the cart because I mean we're always down here 4 players.
Yeah, you need that game.
And Mario Kart. Those are the 3 complete in box, and I have the carts.
So like you leave those ones untouched, and then you play the cart. Yeah.
Like to be honest, if I could pare down thin my collection down. If you see my collection, right, I have a lot of filler. If I streamlined it to just what I really play and want, my collection would be like a quarter. Not even. Yeah. I think I'd have.
It would be that wall like that.
It'd probably be even less.
My collection was a lot bigger, and I already did that because it's just I didn't want too much stuff. Tristan moved in. And
do you regret it?
Do I regret it? No way. No way.
Considering where the market went, that's the only thing I was thinking about. Like, man, this market's like right now. It's at a point I would never have imagined when I started. Like probably when you started 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I wouldn't because nobody
cares. It's a discouraging market, though. In my opinion, it's like I want to go pick up a 64 game or something. Oh, NHL 99 is $10. I wouldn't.
That's a good price for a cart right now.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible price. It should be $2. It should be $1.
Yeah, it should be $1 in my opinion. All the sports and 64 games. But I was at P&P looking. Because it's like any sports game is like $10 to $15.
It's funny. It's almost your best bet is to go on eBay and people are literally selling shelf padding. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people are buying bulks of games they're never going to play just to pad their shelves.
And I actually, I'm not good when it comes to internet. I'm really not. But I had to buy one issue 4 or volume 4 of the. I had to buy it off of. I wasn't gonna find it. There's no. I mean,
was it a decent price? Like, was it okay?
Yeah. It was a guy in Montreal, so there was no cross border whatever fee, and I got here quick.
What was issue 4's cover?
It was Link looking at Zelda sleeping in a bed or something like that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a funny cover, sir. Oh, Zelda. She was never going to kiss Link.
Nate's going to post a photo of that and, like, Photoshop the faces of, like...
Ian and me.
Or, like, Lester
Ian sleeping.
Yeah.
That just popped into my head. Oh, that's a. I'm trying to think. Any more questions about Nintendo Power? Were you just like, as a collector, how do you feel like when they went posterless? I think the last few issues had no posters, right? For Nintendo Power, they stopped putting posters in the
Well, the
magazine.
last one had a poster, obviously.
No,
Well, the very last one did, but yeah.
Yeah, before that they stopped it, right? The posters. I think they did.
They always had like. I loved the inserts, like the stickers, there's little GameCube memory card stickers on there. Those are actually really awesome. I have the GameCube, like the Metroid, and I like that stuff. But when it goes posterless, it didn't affect me, because I had the old ones with posters.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually had posters because I know Mario Kart 7, I believe, had a poster. I think I have that poster.
Well, yeah, it wasn't like the reason I loved Nintendo Power as a kid because I wanted
was the posters, was the fold out poster.
Yeah,
the
three fold gate, whatever.
Okay,
and then they started doing like the bigger posters for a while.
Yeah.
It's like 8 folds.
Oh, yeah.
I have like Castlevania Judgment one, and then they just stopped all of a sudden putting posters into their.
I'm sure
when they went to the newest version, right, with the nicer font and stuff, I was like, "Where's the poster?"
Yeah, well, cost, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
probably was.
idea.
They already knew they were probably gonna stop making these.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
I like some of the retrospectives that they do in the Nintendo Power magazines. I think there was one, the 100 best Nintendo games of all time.
Yeah.
You see that one? That was pretty interesting. It's a very skewed point, right? Obviously, the best games of all time.
So they're all going to be like
according
Nintendo,
to Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, the top
all the
10 are-
licensed Nintendo games. Yeah.
It's funny because it's a skewed view, right? Like Nintendo games are never reviewed.
Any top anything is going to be a skewed view depending on who's doing it.
Even like third-party games are very generous, I thought, with their reviews. Like nothing ever got under 7.
Yeah.
NHL 99 is fantastic. 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Please
buy
buy
it
for N64. Yeah. You know it's not great, but that's a pretty funny thing to me. One game they did praise though, but I guess because it was exclusive, was Resident Evil 4.
What's your favorite game?
For one of my favorite games.
Well, yeah,
but it's just funny. Then I just thought of it now. I'm like, okay, because when it came out, it was only for GameCube.
it was only on GameCube.
That's why they were probably pumping it so much.
Yeah.
And then it came out for PS2. No, that is one of my favorite games of all time. Favorite game of all time? You have one?
That's a hard question.
It is very.
That is a tough question.
I was thinking we're gonna have to do one on our podcast.
Okay, favorite console. Your favorite console is obviously N64, right? Or I can't say obviously, but it seems like your favorite console would be.
I would say Game Boy, and that's in its entirety. I'd say Game Boy.
Okay.
I'd say Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced. That would be. I think that I love the Game Boy.
I never had a Game Boy when I was a kid, but I like the Advanced.
Why do you like the Game Boy? Is this the game library?
The SP is
the SP is that's one of the greatest systems of all time. Yeah. I think. I mean, it was just obviously a portable Super Nintendo. The amount of games it has, it's just such.
That was my one thing for the Game Boy Advance. That's why I love the Game Boy Advance games.
Yeah,
it's hand drawn Super Nintendo games.
CGR recently got an EverDrive cart for the GBA, and I was like, that would be a good one to get.
That'd be solid.
That'd be a good.
Or you just get an emulator.
Yeah, but you could play.
I know the hardware.
It's on the original hardware at least, right?
Well, Game Boy.
So you're a Game Boy handheld guy.
Yeah, always have been. Well, I actually have one of the most the gray Game Boy right there. My brother actually got for me, when it 91 or something, saved up his birthday money and bought that for me. So that's kind of
that's cool.
With Mario Land, and I played that.
See, I never had my own Game Boy, and then the first handheld I bought myself was the DS. Which you could play the GBA games on there, which I thought was pretty cool. But that's the first handheld I bought.
That is.
I always played other people's.
Well, the SP is good because you can play the original Game Boy Color games on it, right? I don't think you can do that on the DS.
No. You could play
GBA.
On the DS, Game Boy Advance, you couldn't play.
You can play Game Boy Color games on here?
Yes, you can.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You can play. I mean, that's why I also like the
Game Boy player.
The Game Boy player is awesome. Yeah, you can play obviously all the Game Boy games.
Is it not recording?
I think
we're recording our voice.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying. 30. I think it cut off at 30 minutes.
That's okay. That's 7 minutes.
We got a voice.
We keep going with just this,
No, wait.
This talking is.
That's weird.
It's a podcast. We're doing a podcast.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
fine.
This is a podcast.
No video.
You're on a podcast.
We got
Oh,
cameras.
yeah,
now.
yeah, that's awesome.
We'll go audio
This
for
is
this. That'd be
awesome.
good.
Yeah, I like podcasts.
Oh, I love.
They're
Do you
fun.
listen to?
They're fun to
What
do.
are your podcasts that you listen to?
Retronauts.
Yeah!
And it
I
was-
just listened to one on
well,
the way.
it's not even. I didn't even know about podcasts, but this I know this police officer, and he also has a collection, and we do some trading.
He's probably the guy who came to the first RGU show. He was
Which
looking
one?
for games. These two cops came in, and one of them was like really looking at like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That was pretty cool, 'cause they were walking
his
around.
name by
No,
chance?
I don't.
We let it. They were gonna.
This
I
guy's
was.
name's Mike.
I told the guys
Okay.
like free admission for police, paramedics, and firefighters
Yeah.
at the thing, and then they actually paid $5 to get in. I was like, what?
Yeah.
They're like,
Well, yeah,
Go to
okay,
charity,
So
so
you're
they didn't
saying about this police officer, your friend who collects. What were we talking about?
I forget.
Retronauts.
Retronauts, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. He was the one because I knew what podcasts were, but I didn't care. He's like, "Do you listen to podcasts?" I'm like, "No, man, I don't know." But he said, "Well, I have Retronauts. I didn't even know my iPhone had a." I
Yeah,
didn't
they
even
have
know
those
what that
things where
was.
you
It's
could-
simple. You just press
Yeah.
it and you just type in whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I just typed it in, and I've listened to a couple of Retronauts, whatever podcasts.
I think someone was asking us if we had what is it? Is it RS feed or something? Is that what?
RS feed, yeah. We don't have an
Yeah,
outlet
that's
to.
right. But we
Well,
don't,
we
we don't
have-
do
we
regular
do have
podcasts either,
A
though.
webcast. We do have a website. We probably should start doing audio podcasts now because it's so much more simpler. Just use a phone to record
You
it.
guys have a website?
Well, we never use it. So.
So there you have it. Thank you very much, Eli, for inviting myself and Ian into your beautiful home. Letting us check out and peruse your awesome Nintendo Power collection. It's something I say all the time about, being a retro video game fan and meeting people that you've never met before. I've said the same thing about Ed from River City Retro Gaming, where I met a complete stranger, somebody I haven't met before. We grew up in totally different areas of the city, had different life experiences, but because of the common thread of retro video games, I can meet somebody who could be like from across the world, and as long as they speak English and we play the same type of games, we have a common shared history. We become a cohort in essence, people who have shared something similar in people who have shared some significant historical event, you could say, and retro video games can be our shared event. We have something in common, and we have something that we can discuss. We've been through the same trials and tribulations of The Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo and Super Mario Bros. 3 and all that good stuff. And I think that's why retro video gamers are, for the most part, easy to talk to. Of course, you're going to get some, for lack of a better term, douchebags out there. There are a few. But Eli is not one of them. So thank you, Eli, for letting us come into your house. Really did enjoy chatting it up with you. We also have a video component for this audio podcast. Really what happened, to be honest with everyone, was that our GoPro kind of conked out on us. The memory card had errored out, and we couldn't really record anything. We had very limited capabilities. We had our phones, so that's how we got the audio version of this podcast. And that's how we got some of the video that will be on our YouTube page.